Hi, this is Jarrod. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like this content. And if you would like to support my channel, I'm going to be covering my annual Triple Crown full card soon. So if you head over to the runawayhorse.com, click on my sales page. My Kentucky Derby full card will be available in a few weeks. Now, in the last 22 Triple Crown races, I've given out 9 winning trifectas and 5 winning superfectas. And in that Triple Crown full card for Churchill Downs for the Kentucky Derby, you're going to get a lot of analysis of each horse, all the prep race recaps, a lot of information in there, bloodlines information, post position analysis, just so much more, wagering strategies for all the races, including trifectas, superfectas, pick 3, pick 4, pick 5 wagers for those full cards, pick 6 as well. It's going to be available Derby, Preakness, and Belmont Week at the runawayhorse.com on my sales page. So check those out. Keep supporting my channel, and good luck at the races. This is Jarrod Horak for the runawayhorse.com, and we're still on the road to the Kentucky Derby. Now, all of the points races have been run, but now we got a good idea of the 20 horses that are going to be in. Now, there are still some horses that are on the bubble that could get in if some of the horses that have enough points decide not to run. For instance, early voting for trainer Chad Brown. He was second in the Wood Memorial Stakes, but they're not 100% sure they're going to run in the Kentucky Derby. They may wait for the Preakness. The same thing for Morello for trainer Steve Asmussen. He qualified by winning the Gotham Stakes, and then he didn't run well in the Wood Memorial after a slow start. And now we're going to see if they decide to take the spot that they've earned for the Kentucky Derby, or they're going to go in another direction. So if those horses don't go, or if a horse gets sick or gets knocked out for other reasons, some of the horses on the bubble that are sitting 21st or 22nd could end up getting in the race. Now, 20 horses are allowed to run, and then I think there's 4 also eligibles that can be entered. So we'll see how that all plays out. We still got some time before the Kentucky Derby. But now in this video, I'm going to take a look at some of the qualifiers for the Kentucky Derby, horses that ran in the Louisiana Derby and the Bluegrass Stakes. So I'll look at those horses that qualified through those races in this video, and then I'll do some other qualifiers in some upcoming videos. Now, don't forget about my annual Kentucky Derby full card from Churchill Downs will be available Derby week. And you can purchase that pre-product for the Kentucky Derby right now at therunawayhorse.com on my sales page if you're interested. I've done some of the analysis and some of the breakdown of the race, but then after they draw the post positions and we know the field for sure, I'll get my wagering strategies and everything else done then, and then get that product done along with the rest of the races for the Churchill full card. But those annual Triple Crown full cards can be found at therunawayhorse.com on my sales page. So now in this video, I'm going to look at, as I said, the Louisiana Derby first. And the horse that had the most qualifying points for the Kentucky Derby this year was Epicenter for trainer Steve Asmussen. Now, Steve Asmussen has yet to win the Kentucky Derby. I believe he's run 23 horses, and a couple of them did finish second. He has a couple of Preakness Stakes wins, and he's also won the Belmont Stakes, but the Kentucky Derby has eluded him so far. He's got a solid chance with Epicenter, your likely favorite in the Derby. He's run a total of 6 times with 4 wins and a second. He really started getting good at fairgrounds in these Kentucky Derby points races. He won a points race late last year, the Gunrunner Stakes at fairgrounds, so basically going wire to wire there. He was a close second. He battled on the lead, and then he pulled clear. Then in the Lecomte Stakes, he had to go too fast on the lead. Call Me Midnight ran him down. He ended up holding on to second in that race. Then in the Risen Star Stakes, he was able to get out there and control the pace, and he wired the field, defeating Smile Happy and Zandon. And then in the Louisiana Derby, he showed a new dimension, stalking from third a couple lanes back, and then he pulled clear and won that one easily. So he's made very good progress over the winter and now into the spring for trainer Steve Asmussen, and he's one that certainly could make some noise in the Kentucky Derby. He's going to make his presence felt throughout. Joel Rosario is going to ride. He won the 2013 Kentucky Derby aboard Orb. Now, another horse that qualified through the Louisiana Derby was the horse that actually set the pace in the Louisiana Derby, and that is Zozos for trainer Brad Cox. Now, Zozos is one that is very lightly raced. He's only run 3 times. He won his 6th furlong debut, and then they stretched him out to a mile and a 16th against Optional Claiming Company at Oaklawn Park. He won that race by 10 lengths. In his debut, he stalked from 4th. The second time out, he chased from 2nd. In the Louisiana Derby, he tried to steal it, but Epicenter was just too good. He was clearly second best that day. And then the third horse across the line was Pioneer of Medina. Now he currently sits number 21 on the Kentucky Derby list. He has 25 points. He needs one horse to defect and decide not to go in the Derby, and then he will be able to run in the Derby. And I think Ty Pletcher will take that spot if it's available. He was third in the Louisiana Derby chasing the pace. He was fourth in the Risen Star Stakes. And then on the Lecomte undercard in an optional claiming race, he wired the field. So he has good early pressing speed. His speed figures have slowly been rising, and he's one that will probably impact the pace if he ends up running in the Kentucky Derby. Now, a couple horses qualified through the Bluegrass Stakes, including Zandon, and he has 114 Kentucky Derby points, which puts him second on the list for most points earned. And I've always liked this one. He was on my Derby list the whole time. That's when I started my Kentucky Derby list last year. Zandon was in my top 5, and right now he's my current top-ranked Kentucky Derby contender. He's a solid contender for the Derby. It's a question of will he get enough pace help. He won his 6 furlong debut stalking the pace last year, and he missed by a nose in the Remsen Stakes second time out. His third start was in the Risen Star Stakes. And Epicenter won that one. Smile Happy was second. Now Zandon, that day, he hopped at the start, so he didn't have a good start, and he made a nice sustained run. He was last. He was 10th and last, and he just made a sustained run to finish third that day. Then last time out in the Bluegrass Stakes, didn't get a lot of pace help. He was racing in traffic. He was near the back of the pack under Flavien Prat, and he rallied to win that one, going away by more than 2 lengths, earning a strong late pace rating. So the 1.25 mile distance should not be a problem for Zandon. It's just a question of what kind of trip is he going to get. He does not want to come from 20th place. Now, if he's able to show enough positional speed, maybe sit back in 9th or 10th place, I think he's probably got a good shot to wear down the speed. But if he gets too far back, that could spell trouble. Now, Smile Happy was one that was a very early favorite for the Kentucky Derby after he won the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes, which was a productive race last year. And that was his second win in 2 starts as a 2-year-old. Now, as a 3-year-old, he came back in the Risen Star Stakes. He was second. He split Epicenter and Zandon that day, rallying from off the pace. Not a bad effort from an outer post. That was a good start to his 3-year-old campaign. And then from post 10, last time out in the Bluegrass, he stalked wide. He took the lead, but he could not hold off Zandon. He was clearly second best. Now, probably the biggest hurdle for Smile Happy is going to be the distance. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to continue to go on at longer distances, because he won his first 2 starts at 1 mile and a 16th, and then his last 2 starts against Graded Stakes Company at 1 mile and an 1/8. He finished second both times, and now he's going to have to go 1.25 miles. But Smile Happy, a lot of class here, a decent pedigree, and he's one that's never run a bad race, and he's got enough tactical speed to keep the leaders in his sights. It's just a question of, can he go 1.25 miles, and can he improve in his 3rd race as a 3-year-old? So that will look at the first 5 horses. Now, in my next video, I'll look at horses that qualified through the Wood Memorial and the Jeff Ruby Stakes, and then also the Lexington Stakes, because Tawny Port was second in the Jeff Ruby Stakes, and then he won the Lexington Stakes last week. So I'll talk about the horses from those races in my next video. Until then, good luck at the races.